Did you enjoy the meal? I sure hope that you did. There is some more cheesecake that they just brought out. If you'd like to grab a piece real quick or a drink, go ahead and do so. We also want to make mention right over here is a beautiful little photo booth area. If you'd like to get pictures with your young person or afterwards, if you'd like a picture of them with their awards, please feel free to use that. And thank you to Becca Mitchell and those who helped put that together. Well, every year we are excited to award all the young people for all their hard work. Several years ago, we looked at the awards, and some of our awards are based on statistics. Brother Ramirez, one of these is a little hot. If we could pull it off, I'm hearing a little bit of a reverb there. Or somebody's tapping. I don't know if you can hear it, but I can. All right, good. We'll get that cared for here. Some of the awards tonight are based on statistics that are kept throughout the year. And then the others are based on what the coach feels, based off of some of the statistics, but as well as just watching their players in practice and improving through the year. And so we've got quite a few of the awards tonight, but we've had a tremendous year. In fact, overall, I believe it was one of the best years that we've had since 2016. You can see the banners up there. Now, those years, we didn't have as many teams in our tournaments and such. This year, we had full tournaments, 8 in our volleyball, we had 10 in our basketball. And for our girls, they finished 3rd place in this year's volleyball tournament. And our boys finished 2nd place. And boy, that was exciting for them to get to play in that championship game. Not only, though, did the boys finish 2nd, they began the season at the Rockford tournament with 8 teams up there, and they won 3rd place to start the season, as well as the Christian sportsmanship. And I believe, as you saw, our coaches, I've mentioned it time to time, and they agree, this was one of the best spirited years that we've had. Great teamwork, great encouragement, great response to adversity and bad calls. And it was good. In fact, in both tournaments that we held, ICCS received a vote or two from other teams as the Christian sportsmanship. We just didn't win the majority. And so let me just say thank you to the coaches for leading and the players for following and being a good representative of Jesus Christ through athletics. I do want to say this so I don't forget before we get started. Parents, please wash your boys' basketball uniforms first, and then please try to get those returned this next week. We'd like to just make sure everything's turned in and we can get it stored. But please get that done this week if you are able to. We're going to go through, starting with our cheerleading, and then I'll come up and give a little introduction to each of our different sports. But Miss Cindy Brenton is our cheerleading coach, and she did a fantastic job this year. And so I'm going to ask her to come at this time, and we've got some medallions for all of the girls.
Hello, am I on? Hello? Can you hear me? Yes. Okay, thank you. What a year we had. I had a lot of new blood this year, which was very exciting. I was very much looking forward to these new 5th graders coming in, and they did not disappoint me, and their enthusiasm just spread to my other 4 girls, and we had a lot of fun. It was a trying year as far as I was concerned with things I had going on in my family life, but those girls were very supportive of me and all the changes we had to do last minute sometimes, and so for that I'm very grateful. I'm going to have them come up, and we'll just have them get their medallions first off. So I'm going to start with my new ones, my 4 5th graders. Were Allie Aguilar. They'll come up. And Ellie Aguilar. Just line up. Oh, over there. Isabella Hughes. And Millie McLaughlin. Is she here? She is. These were my 4th, 5th graders. This was their first year, and they did a fabulous job. And then my 1 6th grader was Trinity Chance. And Trinity was a big help because this is a return year for her, so she got to deal with all the new ones. And those first couple of weeks, she did a fantastic job just teaching them the cheers, and they were quick learners, so that was helpful too. So this was my junior high team, and awesome. And then my 3 varsity were Tilly Chance, and Maddie Mitchell, and Kelsey Steele. These 3 are old pros. They've done this for a couple years working together, and so when they came back, they already knew their cheers, but some of them they're like, what, I think we can improve these. Maybe we change the motions or change the rhythm or say, and so their creativity started to come out, which was very helpful because it made things a little bit more exciting when they cheered. I also have my new ones, some gymnasts, which was also kind of exciting, and that kind of spread to the other girls, and so I think I have about all of them doing cartwheels now. I'm not too sure, but we'll still improve for next year. We had a lot of fun, and I do want to say that I appreciate their support for me because it was a rough year for me, and I'm just very grateful for them being able to adjust, for them to just be what I needed them to be, and I'm very thankful for them. And thank you to the parents for all the bottles of soda that you supplied for our fizzy free throws. We greatly appreciate it. We were able to buy new cheer tops for the varsity. Our next project is the pom-poms. We need new pom-poms because they're literally falling apart. So next year, come on out for fizzy free throws and help us get new pom-poms. But I thank you for your support for them because it does help them when they come back and they see people cheering with them or doing the lineup we did for the varsity guys. That was encouraging to them. And so thank you for them. And you 4th graders, I'm waiting for you next year, okay? Okay, I know I got a slew of them that are looking forward to it. So these were our cheerleaders this year, and they did a fantastic job. So thank you, girls. There are 2 people I do want to recognize because with things with my mom, sometimes I had to leave on spur of the moment, and they had practice, and I didn't want them to miss their practice, and so Jessica Kaiser and Jenna Chance would take them over when I had to leave, and the girls liked that because they had new stuff to teach them, and so when I come back, they were very excited. Miss Brenton, look what we learned, look what we learned, look what she taught us, and so I want to say thank you to them too for stepping in when I needed somebody and for helping out my girls. So thank you.
All right. They sure bring a liveliness to the games, and I appreciate the girls continue. We almost lost cheerleading for a while because the older girls lost interest. So we've got a lot of fourth graders. They're just dying to cheer and play volleyball. And so our future is we got to order more jerseys next year, and that's great. That's exciting. At this time, I'm going to have Miss Kat Braun and Mrs. Rachel Borton come up. Mrs. Braun coached our junior high volleyball team, and Mrs. Borton our varsity. And they did a fabulous job and led the team again to a third place finish in our tournament. What I'd like to ask, we have a large group of volleyball girls on each team. As you get your medallion, if you'd come down to this end, that way to help fill in, we'll get a picture. Then we'll have everybody be seated, and then we'll do our individual awards after that. So, Mrs. Borton, they are yours.
Volleyball at ICCS, and my first 2 years I was the assistant coach, and then the last 2 years I've been the lead coach. And what I've seen over the last 4 years is a lot of growth in myself and also a lot of growth in the team. And so I'm just really excited with everything that we've been able to accomplish together. My first year in coaching, we rarely won any games as the JV coach. The second year in coaching, JV won more games than they lost. And then my third year, the JV team won most of their games, and varsity won more games than they lost. And then varsity made it to the championship. And last year we had second, and this year we had third. So I'm really excited about this coming year. Just really proud of both teams. So to start out, we would like to ask all of the junior varsity volleyball players to come up to the front. Yep, everybody just come on up. All right. Ellie Aguilar. Sochi Quahiso. Isabella Hughes. Melina McLaughlin. Janelle Mundo. Trinity Chance. Kayleen Lazola. Tilly Chance. Yuretsi Quahiso. Maddie Mitchell. Ava Borton. Genevieve Braun. Hope Johnson. Caitlin Simmons. And you can tell not everybody is here tonight, but we do have 13 players on the junior varsity team. This is one of our largest, I think, JV teams. And it was a very exciting year. Some of our fifth graders had never played volleyball, and they put out so much effort and worked so hard. They had a couple games that we might have got back a little bit later, but everybody really did a good job playing together as a team, and the older girls on the team, we just want to say thank you for helping to mentor the younger girls. Yeah. up as close as they want. Okay, and so go ahead and have a seat. And while they're having a seat, I just want to bring something to your attention. So we have a couple extra awards this year, so you'll have to listen closely. And Mrs. Braun definitely needs an award because this is not a one-woman show. With 26 girls, it is not. So I definitely could not do this without her, so thank you very much. All right, so now... Okay, so for our individual awards, our highest serving percentage, this player had 97.4% accuracy, and this was Caitlin Simmons. And then we have a different category this year, outstanding serving percentage at 92.4% accuracy is Ava Borton. Another category we're introducing this year is our most come in clutch player. This player was very consistent and would give every opportunity to return the ball. She would give it her all, and that is Tilly Chance. And the next category I want to introduce is the best hustler. So this player was a new player on the junior varsity team. And this player had energy for days. We'd start practice and everybody's doing laps and she's already done. She had so much energy and would give 110% in games, and that is Ellie Aguilar. Our most improved player this year is Yuretsi Kwahiso. Our best offensive player is Genevieve Braun. Our best defensive player is Caitlin Simmons. Our most outstanding player is Genevieve Braun. And then our last award tonight goes to our Christian Character Award. And I have to say this is one of the hardest ones to select. The other awards, we have such a nice stats Excel sheet that was created for us that it makes the other awards a little easier to identify because they stand out statistically. But truthfully, we have the sweetest girls. And as Pastor Courier said, they have such a sweet spirit. This is a hard one to choose, but our Christian Character Award goes to Madeline Mitchell. And then if parents want to get a picture, all right, now I'd like to ask all of the varsity players to come up front. As I look back on this past volleyball season, I'm reminded of the growth and skills of our varsity players. This year, we tried to focus really hard on a specific rotation. We learned to work with only one primary setter. We honed our serving consistency and our spiking ability, and overall, I think our confidence. So I'm just really proud of all of our varsity players. And I'm going to read off everyone individually. So to start out with, Mallory Feldhaus. Olivia Mitchell. Kayla Tomlinson. Victoria Verdick. Megan Borton. Ashlyn Bruce. Itzel Quahiso. Abby Hampton. Ariana Paloma. Kelsey Steele. Graciela Rivera. And wrapping up this season was a little bit difficult because we have two seniors who are graduating. These two seniors have played volleyball all 4 years of high school and have grown and excelled in their volleyball skills over that time, and we are going to miss them next season. Lexi Labat provides positive energy to the team. She is always ready to find the humor in any situation. She has no idea how intimidating she can look as a volleyball player at the net. I'm always telling her, just look a little more fierce, Lexi. They're scared to death of you. And she has the most effortless serves and spikes I have ever seen. It looks like zero energy, and there it goes. All the way, sometimes out, a lot of times in. Tori Leach is that volleyball player that is always eager to improve her skills. She is constantly asking for feedback. She's very consistent. The team and I could always count on Tori when we were in a slump to turn the game around with a hard serve or a good spike. She has a great attitude and enjoys mentoring her younger teammates. We will miss both of you so much, and we wish you the best after graduation. serving percentage for our varsity girls at 92.5% accuracy goes to Graciela Rivera. And then outstanding serving percentage at 85.5% is Abby Hampton. This next category is most improved server, and this server started out the year not as strong and then became one of the most dependable servers on varsity. I knew when she got up there, we were going to be good. I mentioned it earlier, effortless, and that's Lexi Labat. This next category is a new one, and that is the best digger. This player, with no thought to herself or potential injury, would throw herself on the court, throw herself into the bleachers, and so our Best Digger Award goes to Kayla Tomlinson. Our most improved player this year is Olivia Mitchell. Olivia went from subbing in the beginning and then playing in our tournament. It really helped us. Our best offensive player is Tori Leach. And our best defensive player is Kelsey Steele. Our most outstanding player is Tori Leach. And then again, I would say just a very difficult category to choose. We have excellent girls with the best Christian spirits. But our Christian Character Award this year goes to Megan Borton. All right, and then if parents want to get pictures. And I'd also just like to say thank you to Mrs. Feldhaus and Mr. Kincaid and Pastor Creerier for driving us on the bus.
All right, what a great season. Then came basketball. And I'll tell you what, last year, Brother Bobby Cottle came in his first year as our 2 years ago. This is his third year. This year was a tough year because last year he had a good team, a stacked team, and then all those boys moved up and he was left with 3. And then he got a bunch of boys who played for the first time together. And so occasionally, because of the size of the teams, we have some boys that play up and down. They play on both teams, and we had to do that this year. And he brought those younger boys in, and they showed up. And I think they had a plus 500 season, And the few games that they lost was against older teams. In fact, for example, Marion Avenue, who we played, they were playing 10th and 11th graders on their JV, and our boys stood up, and they played tough. And so it was a tremendous year. He'll come in just a minute. Also after that, Mr. Kincaid stepped in, and boy, he carries a good load as a teacher, discipline counselor, concessions. He does a great job, but this year stepped in and became our head coach and did a phenomenal job. I do want to say this, be in prayer for Mr. Kincaid. His father passed away Sunday morning, and the services are tomorrow. So I'd like to encourage, if you're able to, at 9:30 at Preston, Hanley, and Pekin is the visitation, 10:30 is the service, and I know that'll be a good encouragement and blessing if you could be there. But he did a fabulous job, and so we're going to start with Brother Bobby and the JV team, and then followed by Mr. Kincaid and varsity.
All right, good evening. Am I on? All right. Well, let me tell you, just thank you for the opportunity to coach. I never know if every year is my last year, depending on what the parents think or whatnot. And I don't hide the fact that I got a lot of passion, and I don't care if you're the youngest one. I just have always appreciated hard coaching as a kid that grew up in the public school and then into the Christian school here. But I really prayed at the beginning of the year. I was really busy in the fourth quarter last year at work, and I said, I need a helper, and prayed that God would bring the right person along. And he did. He brought me Brother Coyle, and Brother Coyle's been my assistant coach, and thank the Lord for him. Not only did I get a phenomenal assistant coach, but I got a really good friend out of it. And I got to glean off of some things, talking about child rearing and coaching and ministry and all those things. And I really just have enjoyed our friendship, and we have a lot of fun. I think we get each other, and he finishes my sentences and all that kind of stuff, you know. So, but we had a lot of fun this year with the boys. Like Brother Courier said, I knew it would be a transitional year and didn't quite know what to expect, didn't quite understand all the personalities that come along with fifth graders, especially a lot of fifth graders. And I will say, to preface, I put a lot more pressure, I think, on the older boys and the guys that we have getting ready to graduate or whatnot. And I really encourage them to step up. Along with the medals and the awards and stuff, I wanted to get something to kind of to just give to each of the boys. So I got this challenge coin, and it's got a lion on the front of it, and the one side says, "Mighty men, the Lord is with you," Judges 6:12, and then on the back side it says Joshua 1:9, "Be strong and courageous." Tried to tell our fifth graders, I said, I need you to play bigger this year. All right, we're going to go in and we're going to look like that other team's going to look like a bunch of Goliaths, and it's going to look challenging, right? And those boys went in there, and they were courageous, and they were strong, and they played as hard as they could. My motto every year is, all right, I'll give you 110% of me if you give me 110% of you. And I said, we'll leave the results up to the Lord. And they did that this year, and I'm so proud of them. But I just wanted to give that to you, so Brother Paul's going to give that to you as he gives you your medal. Let me go ahead and call the boys up. Luke Braun. Stay up here, Luke. There you go. Jace Coyle. Isaac Hogus. Jeff Young. Luke Johnson. Let me tell you this. All right, Luke's not here tonight, but I'll tell you, one of the highlights of the season was that very last game we played. And Luke, all year long, I don't think he ever played basketball before and was timid, scared. I tried to tell him, I was like, you grab the ball, all right? Just grab the ball. Just be strong. Stay in your spot. And he did everything that he could to try to do exactly what I asked him to do. Man, there's nothing like seeing him score his first 2 points in that last game. And it made the season worth it. And you got to be a part of that, or you get to go back and see it, man. You could just see the light bulb in his head. He was so elated, and you know, as a coach, that's one of those things you look for and you enjoy those kind of moments. And so Luke's not here. I think he's camping, but I definitely miss him tonight. Matthew Juarez. Reed Cottle. Jetro Palomo. Daniel Courier. All right, we'll go ahead and do the awards as well. Not quite as big as the volleyball teams, so. All right, so our most improved player, not really a baseline, but I saw definitive improvement, all right? We had one game in Geneseo, and he'd get a breakaway, he'd grab the ball, take the ball down the court, and then he'd pull up for a J, and it'd be so far off, and I'd say, hey, take it all the way into the basket, go in for the layup, and he'd shake his head at me and go down. The very next play, goes down, pulls up again, doesn't take it in. I said, hey, you got to come out now. You didn't do what I asked you to do. And I said, hey, why are you sitting? He goes, because I didn't drive it into the basket and put a layup in. I said, yeah. And I said, do it next time. I think we did it 3 or 4 times where he sat on the bench and he had to learn. But then he started getting it. And by the end of the year, he knew what his role was. He knew what his position on the team was. And he improved so much. And that person is Isaac Hogus. Isaac was an encourager too. We'd be playing these games and we'd be down by 30, and he goes, Coach, if we just get 27 more points, we'll tie the game, right? And so he'd say that. Yeah, that's exactly right. We got 2 minutes. Can we do it? You know. And so I always enjoyed that. Our best offensive player. These next awards, again, I said I really stress to our upperclassmen to not only take the lead, but to outdo themselves and to push themselves beyond what they could even do. And you can see that in the numbers. If you look at the stats, I'm not much of a stat guy, but you can tell every game that these guys were just putting everything they had into it. Our best offensive player was Daniel Courier. Our defensive player had to work, right? Because his offensive struggled at times. And in order to make the offensive work, he really had to put it in on defense, and you saw that in the games. Our best defensive player was Jetro Palomo. Our most outstanding player, Daniel Courier. Daniel, we played in one tournament in January over at CLA, and Daniel was as sick as I've ever seen a player play. And but he was resilient in the fact that he did not want to miss the opportunity to lead the team, and he left it out on the floor, and it was something I noted then, and I certainly appreciate it now. And then our Christian Character Award, I actually asked Coach Paul what his thoughts were, and we both came to the same conclusion. And we look back on videos, and if you watch the players play, they all do phenomenal jobs. But this person just seemed to be helping people get up on the other team. He was showing compassion, and that person we decided was Jetro Palomo. And once again, thank you so much, Brother Courier and Mrs. Feldhaus, for driving for us some long distances, and our wives. I thank my wife, and she sacrifices even though she's behind the scenes and taking care of the things at home to enable me to do the things that I love. And encouraging us, and just so many things behind the scenes going on. And just thank you so much for everybody and your support. Looking forward to a phenomenal year next year. I got more kids coming in, like others have said, and we're looking forward to having a fun time. So thank you again.
Hi, Mr. Kincaid. Hi. Anyway, I just heard somebody say, "Oh no," so. Yes, I am your son. Anyway, I know what they're feeling. When I was in high school, this night was sort of crazy. I'd have sweaty palms. Sweaty palms. Andrew, you don't have sweaty palms? Well, we'll find out. And they were all going, "You better get your wheelbarrow, for all the awards you're going to win. You're going to need a wheelbarrow." So I know how you're going and what you're feeling, boys, about this sometimes. And even myself, a little bit nerve-wracking sometimes. I don't really eat at these things. I didn't eat tonight, and I really thought it was at 6:30. I was about half hour late, so. I nonchalantly wandered in. That's what they said. So. Before I bring the boys up, we had a little devotional around the beginning of the season. I want to read this to you, John 15:5. It sort of goes in hand with what we're doing tonight. It says, "I am the vine, and ye are the branches." This is Christ speaking. "He that abideth in me, and I in him, the same bringeth forth much fruit." And here's the key phrase I wanted to let the boys know. And I tell you, I can't do this. Sometimes I get emotional at these things. It's a teeter-totter. It's back and forth. Can I keep it together, or am I just going to lose it? So here's the saying, "For without me, ye can do nothing." Okay? There are boys and girls all over this world who are in wheelchairs, crutches. They would just love to play basketball. Without me, ye can do nothing. Who decided that they can't play and our boys can? We should be so gracious and thankful. You're going to get awards tonight. Here's my second verse. Matthew 6. "Lay not up for yourselves treasures upon earth, where moth and rust doth corrupt, and where thieves break in and steal." And Christ said this, "But lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust doth corrupt, and where thieves do not break and steal." And boys, you're going to get awarded tonight, and this is what it's all about. And I honor you for doing that. You did a good job this year. I got more to say in just a few minutes. But it's not all about these little pieces of silver and gold and fake plastic. And where's Peyton? Peyton here? Oh, here we go, Peyton. And this little plastic thing is a story by itself. The little plastic thing broke off. I mean, we're going to get awards that in 25 years, I've been out of school in 40 years, they mean nothing. They're sitting in the basement. I don't even know where they are. Tonight, you'll look at these and go, "Oh man, this is good," but it's going to pass. So I wanted to bring that out to you. Lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, because that's where it is. All right, that's my little devotional for us for now. If you played on my team, stand up here. Come on up. Let's go. Let's see if they get in order. I'm tired of being here in the corner. I'm coming out. So this is nice. Hey, before I begin, I do want to say one more thing. I have to say one more thing before I present honors to these gentlemen. And this was been off and on. Should I say something? Should I not? But the Lord keeps telling me, I think you should. So, Mr. Moreland, you gave me a good team. So thank you for that. Not always can we be part of this. In 2008, I had to leave. We had a downturn. The school couldn't keep me. I lost a chance to coach. I had to bail out. I couldn't coach. I had to get a job, and guess all the jobs, they're all second shift. When I'm on my job and everybody else is playing, I couldn't coach. And then 2018 happened the same thing. When Mr. Williams became the principal, guess what he taught? He taught science. Well, that's what I teach. I couldn't be part of the school. If you can't be part of the school, then you really can't be part of the coaching. So, Mr. Moreland, I know what you're feeling. He couldn't be part of the school. God has control of that. So, but Mr. Moreland, I know how it is not to coach your son. And that really could just send me into emotion land right there, because when I couldn't coach, I had a son that was playing, and I could not coach him, and I felt really bad about it. But you've done well this year. You've come to every game. Thank you for your support. I had to mention this, so thank you very much. Okay, let's give these medals of participation, and along with the medal, they get a little team picture. Now, I have to say, the team picture, sorry, Daniel, sorry, Jetro, you're not in the picture, because we took it after a game that you two didn't play, okay? But we are going to take a new picture, and you'll be in the picture when we get that new picture taken. Mr. Ramirez, I want you to pass these out and give them a team picture as I call these out. So you might want to bring both stacks with you if you can do this. Do you want them to walk over to you, or you want to just go down the line? Little team pictures, 5x7 cards. Do you see them? Little 5x7s? Okay. All right, let's see if they got in order. Did they? No. Okay, let's start off with the youngest, work our way up. Jetro Palomo, yeah. Right there, buddy, right there. In the military, we say front and center. Right, that's good, front and center, right there. Daniel Courier, come on up. Judah Moreland. How many look up to this guy? Oh, they hate it because I always say it. They hate it. They hate my corny jokes. Come on. Cesar Palomo. Nathan Aguilar. Lucas Catton. Yes, shiny shoes. Titus Feldhaus. Isaac Mervis. Caleb Griggs. Peyton Mitchell. Thank you. Andrew Winslow. Mr. Courier, do they do pictures now on this? Go ahead. Take your pictures. There's going to be more later, I'm sure. You boys can keep up here. Just stay here, boys. Okay, well, I am a stat man from all the way when I started in 1988. That's when I started teaching. Scoot on down to your right, your other right. They say that in the military a lot, your other right. All right, I am a stat man. I keep track. We have 23 seasons, all the way from 2002. 375 games we've played. 92 players have played. 17,625 points have been scored. Why? Why do we do this? I'm sure the Lord's going, big deal, but the Lord keeps track of stuff too. You know, he might be a stat man, so I don't know. He keeps track of stuff. Why do I do this? Where's Reed? Where you at, Reed? Do you know why I do this, Reed? I was showing him pictures the other day of his dad in 2002, 2003. How old are we? 17? 17? How many years ago was that? Was it 23? 22 years ago? Anyway. When Reed gets a little discouraged, you know, oh, I stink. Well, come here, Reed. No, stay there, Reed, stay there. But I would say, come here, Reed, let me show you what your dad did. Okay, be encouraged. But when Reed gets a little cocky and he thinks he scored like 16 points, right? I heard about your little dance a few years ago, okay? After he made his first 2 points, okay? Why do I say this? Because I'm going to show him that his dad played 3 seasons, 53 games, 15.8 points per game. That's 5th overall. 840 points. That's 6th overall out of these 92 players. And how many threes did he make? 83 threes. That's his dad. Okay? So Reed, chill out, brother. Don't get too cocky. I'll show you all the stats from your dad. Okay? All right. I don't know, Mr. Cottle, if you started in 8th grade. You did not. No. Sophomore year. Some of these players started when they're in 8th grade. If you play the varsity, the stats go on varsity stats. Okay, this season, 18-7. That's 72%. That's almost tops. I have to find out. There's one more team that had a better record at 11-4. But I'm missing some games. If I can just find one game that they lost, if I can find it, then that means we are the best team. No one has won 18 games, and we did that this year. So good job on that, 18 games. And one more thing before I move on. There has been no team in the history, and I'm losing. There is an asterisk on this because I am missing 3 seasons of nothing. I have nothing. I have no information, no records, anything. 3 seasons I'm missing. But I think that this is tops. I don't think any team in our history has held defense. I always say we gotta hold them down. You can't give up 60 points and expect to win. 10 points a quarter is our goal. 10 points, 40 points. That's almost ridiculous. That's only 5 baskets a quarter. But this year we held teams to 39.1 defense. We held them down, and that is a school record right there. 39 points. Okay, I got to talk fast. Step out if you think you got the most turnovers. Who got the most turnovers? Take 2 steps out. There's one honest person. There's one honest person. I don't know. Let's find out. Step out if you think you got the most turnovers. Huh? Who is it? All right, Nathan, I commend you for stepping out, but you didn't play enough games, so step back. Good job on that. All right, let's get to the rest of these. Judah, you should be stepping out, brother. Step out. Step out, brother. Okay. Judah, you can step back because you don't have the most. He had 60. Okay, good job. Luke, I'm glad you stepped out. You had 64 turnovers. The only thing I got to say is at least he made more than 64 points. Okay, good job on that. Caleb, good job. 65 turnovers. This can't be good, people, but 65. But Mervis, where are you? Step out, Mervis. 66 turnovers. 66. How did you do that? Okay. For all the people out there, they're going, what's a turnover? Okay. Turnover's bad. Like you might as well take the ball and give it away. Just can't it there. But 66 turnovers. I always think that's funny. You don't get an award for that, but I like harassing you for that. Okay, most points scored. And what we're going to have here is we have a certificate. And pass these out, Mr. Ramirez. Most points, 532 points this year. Isaac Mervis, 532 points. Okay, the record's 610, 603 by Matt Leach. Mr. Leach, Matt Leach, 610 points in a season. But Mervis hit 532. By the way, this year, he's only the 4th player to do this. There was a game against Marion Avenue, our last game. Mr. Mervis hit the 1,000-point mark, 1,000 points. Give it to him for that. Okay. All right, average point per game. This means you score so many points, you have so many games. The record's 24.4, but he had 21.3. Isaac Mervis. The highest field goal percentage, that means you shoot, and if you make a lot of them, according to how you shoot, if you make 10 out of 10, that's 100%. It's sort of hard to do in basketball. I think tops is maybe half. Okay, thank you. I'm getting dry, but at least I'm not crying. Okay? Highest field goal percentage, 56.9. This is a school record. Judah Moreland. Judah, how come it's not 80? I mean, how tall? How far are you from the rim, Judah? Sometimes I get mad at Judah. I'm going, he'd miss a little 2-foot shot. You know, most of his shots are 2 foot because, well, he's only 2 feet from the rim. So I'd be mad at him. Most rebounds. Oh, come on. Most rebounds. 210 rebounds. Judah Moreland. Oh, by the way, I have a separate award. We got a Christmas present. On December 20th, we played Geneseo. We got a little Christmas present. No time have I ever had a student to do this. And I have a special award. Bring that to me, will you? Bring me that. Do you see it? That little trophy? Where's that trophy there? Bring that to me a minute. Now, the school didn't pay for this. I paid for my own because I found this is sort of cool. I'm going to read this to you. The only dunk award. The only one. Judah Moreland. The only dunk. It happened just before Christmas. Yeah, it's on tape. You can get it sometime, but he made the only dunk. But I'm going to tell you, we had a guy named from CLA, the pastor's son over there, Andrew. He tried it as well, fell flat on his back. Do you remember that? That told me, good, I'm glad that happened, because now we have the only player, the only dunk award, okay? Next year, I'm hoping for more. I don't want you to get a head start. I just want you to stand there and dunk it from right there, okay? Mervis, I want you to dunk next year because he's got a few baby dunks in there. That's what we need. And Cesar's got some legs. We want him to dunk as well, okay? I'm sure he had fun watching that. So anyway, we also have a three-point king. 3 points, 30. It's not a school record. 79 is a school record in a season. 79, but he got 30. Isaac Mervis. And then we have free throw percentage. That's when you shoot free throws and you're supposed to make them, 100% is really good. But the record's 81.4, but he didn't come close. In fact, he's probably embarrassed by this to get this, but around 60%, depending on who took the stats, Caleb Griggs got this. And Mr. Ramirez, there's a plaque for that too. Go ahead and grab that. There's a plaque for that. Okay, now we're finishing up here. Most improved player. There's a plaque for this. Okay. So they're all going, okay, who is it? Who is it? Who is it? Who could it be? Okay, I'm going to tell you, this player told me that they weren't even going to play this year. But his mom encouraged him, and I'm so glad he did because he is our most improved player, Titus Feldhaus. Everybody who gets most improved, they're going, oh, this is lame, because that means I stunk at the beginning and I got better at the end. Well, you could look at it that way. That's not what I'm just glad he played and improved. I want to tell you this. Every time I watch game film, and I at least watch games 3 times. Okay, I'd watch it once, I'd watch it again for the stats, and I'd watch it again just for film study. He seemed to be in position defensively and watched them along the way. And according to Mr. Courier, he had like the best percentage on the threes. He only shot like 4 and made 3 of them. So good job, Titus. He's going, oh, bro. Oh, that reminds me. They've called me little bro this year. Come on, little bro. Who's calling me little bro? Who? Step out if you call me little bro. Hang on, guys. Okay, hang on a minute. You two are calling me little bro. Come on. I take that as a compliment. Anyway, you guys can go back. Little bro. All right. Hey, best offensive player. Come on. Best offensive player. We really needed this dude on our team, Isaac Mervis. Hey, if he got going, it was lights out. Lights out. So sometimes he'd get mad, like, I'm not scoring from outside, no problem. In the middle, down the lane, it doesn't matter. 1 on 2, 1 on 3, 1 on 4, right down the lane. Good job, Isaac. We got a lot of film. If you want to see this film, I've got it for you. Good job. Best defensive player on statistically, here's another word, according to the numbers. Okay, according to the numbers. Best defense, Judah Moreland. Mr. Courier tracked this as mainly his blocks, but after a while, he got a few blocks in. People don't like getting blocked. And after a while, you just stop shooting. Wherever the big guy is, you just don't shoot near him. And you know what that's called? Good defense. Okay, that's called if the guy doesn't even want to shoot, it's pretty good defense. Most outstanding player this year, Isaac Mervis. Okay, Mr. Courier, I'm hurrying here. Okay. I made up an award. I think this award will carry over through the years. I want it to. Here's what I named the award. The most invaluable impact. I told that to my wife. She went, what? Invaluable. Like, you're not valuable? No. This is like the opposite. Here's what it says from one of the dictionaries. What is invaluable impact? Let me read this to you. It means value beyond estimation. You can't even estimate the value that this gentleman had. It's much like priceless. It describes something that's of great value that cannot fairly be quantified. It's like you can't put a stat on it. You can't put your finger on it. It's just there. It's like glue that holds the team together. I want to tell you that when this gentleman was absent, we didn't do too good. But when he was there, we just felt, we're going to be okay. Oh, no. Do you know who the most invaluable impact goes to? Caleb Griggs. I'm going to miss this guy. I started talking to the team on July 15th. Griggs, this is Mr. Kincaid. I'll be your basketball coach. You're going to play this year. I'm not sure, to be honest. I should know by the time of the first practice, but I'm leaning on more towards not playing. Oh, no, I'm going to lose my point guard. We'll see. It's not really up to me. It's up to my dad. Come on, Dad. I said, okay. Guess what he said about a month later? Hey, Brother Kincaid, when the team starts practicing, can I come and practice and just help out the team, be more competitive? And I said, you should come out and play. We need you. Well, I can't play for the team. I have too much going on, but I would like to come out and play practice. And guess what I did? Everybody should know this when you text. I left him on red. Do you know what that means? I don't know what I was thinking, but I didn't answer. 2 weeks went by. Guess what he said? I'm going to play this year. He's got a pretty good career in coaching if he wants. I was really impressed with you coming back to coach the parent-player game or whatever we had. It was really good. So he did a good job. He has a lot of IQ in basketball, and he helped me out as well. Okay, the last award, almost the last, the Christian Character Award, and this gentleman deserves it as well. He had good Christian character and leadership. We all appreciate him on the team. Nathan Aguilar. I wish I could talk more about these gentlemen. I love them all, but time won't permit. It's only in our memories now. I do want to mention this, sort of a fun award. Mr. Courier, I had to give your secret away. Mr. Courier came to me and said, this particular gentleman needs to stop talking to the refs, okay? So now I kept that a secret. I actually went to him and I said, hey, dude, you gotta cool it, man. You're gonna get yourself in trouble. I should have said, Mr. Courier's gonna, but I didn't want to get you scared, but I had told you. So I got a special award for you. I went up to the upstairs and I went into my wife's sewing kit, and I have in my hand a zipper. Okay? So you can take this one way or the other, zip it up, or let's go to positive. After I told him that, you did a great job zipping it up. So. Okay, I'm gonna close for now, but I want to let you know I didn't mention everybody's name. Andrew, your name didn't get mentioned a lot, but you know what? I am so glad everybody came out. Andrew, you had good games, bad games. I'm so glad you came out. Everybody. Peyton, you're not here. I don't know if you're listening. Thank you for what you did and all the contributions. Every one of these guys gets honor and praise, but we all praise the Lord for what we have. Thank you. Mr. Courier, I hope I didn't go too long. Sorry.
Just fine, Coach.
Okay.
All right, gentlemen,
All right.
You may be seated. Thank you. Let's, players, why don't we stand and give a standing ovation to your parents and your grandparents for getting you to the school, supporting you through the year, giving you all that food money for the games. Let's give them a round of applause. All right, you may be seated. Real quick, we're gonna get moving on. We do have a short challenge, and I'll introduce our speaker in a minute. We cannot do all of our games without volunteers. If you volunteered at the table as a statistician or on the clock, the scoreboard, would you stand? We'd like to recognize you tonight. Who all helped us out? Brother Moreland, Miss Freeman, Miss Brenton, you did volleyball. And I'm really excited that we've got the young blood, Ariana and Olivia, stepped in for basketball, and they did a great job. Thank you. And then, a lot of people don't think, oh man, it's so nice to live stream. You have to have a team that knows what they're doing. And we had a lot of new people, as you could tell from time to time. They were watching the game and not the screens, and that's okay. Especially that buzzer beater. I'm glad that there was somebody from the other team watching. That made the news when CLA made that buzzer beater from half court. But our people were just watching, and the camera stuck, and you couldn't see it go in. But if you helped in the live stream, Brother Ramirez, Mr. Ramirez, oversaw that. But if you helped him, stand up. I know the tournaments took a lot of workers. And let's give a round of applause to all these workers. Thank you. All right. And an army helped in the kitchen. But I do want to give special recognition, as Mr. Kincaid mentioned, to Brother Moreland. And this year he stepped out and he became an IHSA basketball and volleyball referee. And he is very busy. Almost every night he's reffing. But when we played, he'd turn down games. He'd turn down money to come and watch and help. but we would not be able to do our live stream and all that's on there. He has built everything, the stats, the ticker, keeping the score. He's built all of that, and I don't even understand it. But he's taken a lot of patience to teach me how to run it. But Mr. Moreland, thank you so much, and you've really helped take our athletics to that next level. So round of applause for Mr. Moreland. Thank you. And I'm really excited. 2 years ago, we got a phone call, and it was Paul Coyle. I was like, oh, man, I like Brother Paul. What's he up to? And they said, well, he's coming back to work with his dad. He's associate pastor down at Averyville Baptist Church just down the road. And he's looking, he has some questions about our school because they're interested in putting our kids in. And then it just popped into my, hey, we're looking for a teacher. Does your wife teach? And boy, God sent them at the right time. They're a blessing. Mrs. Coyle's been teaching 3rd and 4th grade now, her 2nd year, and she does a fabulous job there. But I was glad to have Brother Paul come back too. And he and I went to school together, 4th through 7th grade down there at Averyville. And he's got a heart for ministry. They served in the Philadelphia area for many, many years. And boy, it was exciting for him to come on and help coach. Of course, his son played, and that's always an incentive. And he's got a great spirit, as Brother Bobby mentioned. We love to just talk on the bus rides and share and encourage one another. I've asked him to come tonight, and he's not going to take long. He already told me that. Lord gave him something, and he's just going to challenge us before we leave. So would you give your attention and welcome Pastor Paul Coyle.
Well, I have enjoyed the evening. It has been great to be a part of this ministry, this school. Tonight was fantastic. Brother Bobby, thank you for letting me be a part of the team. Brother Courier, Pastor Courier, thank you for letting me be a part as well. And we have just enjoyed this year. I have enjoyed this night. And what I've got, just a quick challenge, goes right along with what Brother Kincaid said a few moments ago. So I'm just going to jump right into it. But Ephesians chapter 1, and maybe you brought a Bible, maybe you didn't, that's okay. But I'm just going to read one verse very quickly. Verse number 12 says this, that we should be to the praise of his glory who first trusted in Christ. We should be to the praise of his glory. What we did tonight was we celebrated what these young people did. We celebrated their accomplishments. We praised, if you will, their glory. What they did, glory is what sets some people apart from other people. We celebrate, talking about sports, we celebrate Steph Curry for what, fellas? The three-pointer, right? He's the best three-point shooter ever in the history of the game. We celebrate Michael Jordan because he's better than everybody. Can I get a witness? Nobody's listening to you, Titus. Right? What separates Michael and LeBron is one's the GOAT and the other one never will be. And that's not fair because I've got the mic and you don't. But I've got the mic, so... The glory, it sets different things. It sets people apart. It sets the difference between Dunkin' and Starbucks. We got a Dunkin' crowd in here. We got a Starbucks crowd in here. Okay, a little more Starbucks. That glory is what sets us apart. Well, spiritualizing that real quick, God, the glory of God is what sets him apart from every other god, if you will. There are no other gods. We understand that tonight. But his glory is what sets him apart, and I don't have time to go through it, but what was the glory of God? We could go back to the first few verses of Ephesians chapter 1. Verse 6 talks about to the praise of the glory of his grace. Talks about how he's accepted us, he's redeemed us, he's adopted us, he's chosen us. There's so many things in Ephesians chapter 1 that God has done for us, and God has allowed us to be a part of because he's good. And that is God's glory. And it says here in verse number 12, we are to be to the praise of his glory. You were awarded tonight. You got honored for what you did, young people on the ball court, basketball, volleyball, cheerleading. But as Brother Kincaid said, 25 years from now, none of that's going to matter. You know what will matter? What you've done for God. What brought him glory. And we are, young people, middle-aged people, anybody older than that here tonight, we're to be the praise of his glory. I appreciate the spirit of the students, the spirit of the players. As I sat and watched these games this year, just a good Christian spirit. Many of them probably deserve that award, the Christian Spirit Award. This is a tremendous ministry, and thank God for Pastor Tebow and the staff and everybody that makes that a part. Man, what a great place, what a great school that we can have our young people be a part of this, and not just learn good academics, not just be able to play sports, but to leave having done it with the right spirit. Nobody in here is running around thumping their chest, right? Well, we see that in the world, especially as athletes. We see the athletes and it's all about them. Lift themselves up. Look at me. Watched LeBron do that the other night. Whatever. Don't get me started on LeBron again. We're to be to the praise of his glory. Everything I do in life, young people, as you go on, everything you do in life is to be to the praise of his glory. People ought to be able to look at our lives, my life, your life, whether you're still in school, whether you're a parent here tonight, a teacher on staff, whether you're a pastor in a church, whatever it is you do, everything you do in life, people ought to be able to look at it and praise God. Matthew chapter 5, verse 16 says that they should see our good works and glorify our Father which is in heaven. You see, you got honored for your athletic ability tonight, and that's great, and we love being able to do that. But ultimately, we want you to leave here thinking, man, I want to play ball for the Lord. I want to go on in life and do what I do for the Lord. I want people to be able to look at my life and say there's something different, not just about them, but it's who they do it for. Can anybody look at our life and say, man, look at what God has done. Look at what God is doing with that young person. Look at what God is doing with that teacher. Look at what God is doing with that student. Look at what God is doing with that couple. Look at what God is doing with that group of people. That's what it's all about. And that word be there, as I was reading that one day, that word be just jumped out at me. It means to exist. I exist for the glory of God. I exist so that others can see him. If we get to the end of our life and people come by, if I'm, my funeral, people come by and go, boy, he was this or he was that, I wasted it. I want at the end of my life, I want people to be able to look at my life and my legacy, whatever that might be, and say, look what God did with him. I want people to be able to look at my life and say, God is the only thing that can explain this. That was a joke. But that ought to be what we all want. The only thing that should be able to explain our life is God. The influence, you teachers, you coaches, the influence you have. You know what that is? That's a God-given opportunity to magnify the Lord for these young people. We live in a world that's so self-centered. We live in a world that is so all about us. Let me get my awards. Let me get my accolades. Let me get my trophies. Let me get my medals. Let me get this. No, we need to leave here tonight, and I hope that we can leave here thinking, let people see God in me. Let me use this ability that God allowed me to play basketball or play volleyball. God allowed me to coach it. God allowed me to teach 3rd and 4th grade or 5th and 6th grade or burn the carpet in the science classroom. God allowed me to do that to influence some people for him, and may they leave thinking, boy, I want to be like that because they're like God. I want to follow that. Paul said, follow me as I follow Christ. I think as Paul passed off the scene and people looked at Paul, it wasn't so much, boy, I want to be like Paul. It was, man, I want to follow God the way he followed God. Paul had it. Paul had it. And so many others in our, we could talk about others tonight throughout the scripture and throughout history. But the point tonight is this, and I'm done, that we be the praise. That means all the time. I exist for the praise of his glory. I don't want anybody patting me on the back. But if they see something good in me, I want them to say, man, look at his God. Look at what God was able to do with that person. Look at how God has transformed a life. And look at the lives, Brother Bobby, that because of God, what God did in your life, now you get to have influence in these young men. And Miss Rachel, the influence you get to have in these young ladies. And just, well, what an opportunity. We get to impact so many other lives for the Lord. And young people tonight, I'm proud of you. I'm glad you got the trophies. I'm glad you got the awards. But that's not what life's about. Life's about being the praise of his glory. We're just to reflect it back to him. The only reason you have Brother Kincaid said it, so many kids would love to play ball. The reason you have the ability to play ball is because God allowed you to have that ability. You walked in here tonight, you were able to run around on the court, you were able to do all that you did this year because God allowed it. Reflect any praise back to him. I'm glad you got the awards. You deserved them, you earned them. But give the glory to God, because that's what we're supposed to be. We exist for the praise of his glory. Heavenly Father, I pray that you'd help us as we leave tonight, Lord, to just think about that. God, everything that I do at home, at school, with the teams, Lord, wherever we're at in life, we exist to magnify you. And may everybody here tonight, Lord, I don't know if everybody in here is saved or not, but I hope that they are. But if they're not, Lord, may they come to know you as their Savior. And Father, I pray that we'd leave here with a desire for others to just see you. May we magnify you in everything, word, deed, athletic competition, job, home life. May it all go back to you. May we magnify you, praise you, and may we be, that two-letter word, may we be the praise of your glory. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Who knew a Baptist preacher could get so much in so little time? That was great. Amen. Thank you, Brother Paul, for that challenge. We're going to be dismissed. I do want to remind you, we're not in a rush to get out of here. It's Friday night. There's a photo booth over here if you'd like to get pictures with your kid, their awards, the groups and such like that. That'd be great. If you're able to help, I would not mind a little help tearing down the tables and chairs before we all leave. Thank you so much for a great season. To God be the glory. You are dismissed. Have a great night.